are live here. Year 3 of this series, 2026 now. We've had 2024 and 2025 doing this monthly recap. And it's been successful for me these last 2 years. 2024, I think I went up 44% in my net worth. I went from about, $111,000 up to $161,000, so close to 50,000. And then 2025, a little bit less, but still good. It was like 27%, if I remember right. But it was from 161,000 to $204,000, so about a $43,000 year. So time to see what January 2026 brings. I'm forecasting a little bit of a rougher year, but still has potential to be solid. But we just gotta hope it all turns out here. So let's get right to it and see how the first month of the year went. Do a channel update, get to the results, and look at the short-term future, the long-term future right now. Kind of hard to plan for, but we'll just take it as it comes. So up first, channel update. I don't really have much of anything to say. Monthly recaps. Do a Rubik's Cube live stream or two throughout the month. I think I have a video to upload actually. I got a new personal best on the 4x4 Rubik's Cube yesterday, I think. So I might upload that. I may or may not upload a few random little videos I took. We'll just have to see. But yeah, I don't know. Might get some random training videos. Been starting to work out again, so we'll see. But for now, nothing big aside from just regular cubing streams, the monthly recap series here, and then maybe just some random stuff along the way. But that's really all I have to say about that for now. So let's get right to the January results. How do we start 2026? Do we get it off to a good start or not? And starting with the passive income, 2026 is looking to be a pretty, I don't know what the word is, predictable year for passive income, I guess, in one way or another. Even though interest rates, we're not really sure looks like they're kind of holding them for the moment. We're not sure how the second half of the year is going to be when it comes to that. But regardless, I have a big CD that goes through November, basically. So really the first 10 months of this year are pretty, I have a pretty solid estimate of what it's going to be. So should hopefully be over $500 pretty much every single month, except for maybe November and December. We'll have to see what things are like at that point. But for most of the year, it should be pretty predictable for passive income. And so let's get right to it. This was a really good month for passive income. $610.90, up 2.73% from last month. And yet again, we got a little streak going here of a few in a row, kind of at the same level. So that's a good way to start the year. And yeah, like I said, the floor is pretty much $500 a month. But obviously right now for this first half of the year, I should be pushing a lot more each month. Probably close to $550 at least. But we'll have to see. But off to a good start this year. Only 1 month down out of the 12, but month 1 on the passive income was a success. Definitely one of my bigger months actually here. Trying to think, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. Definitely one of my better months actually. So that's good. February is going to be a bit of a poor month. It always is. Back in 2024, February was a decrease. February 2025 was a big decrease. So, just because there's less days in the month of February to be earning interest, that's obviously going to play a big factor. So it could be below. I'm trying to do the math in my head here. I don't even know, but it'll be above $500 for sure, but maybe closer to like 550. I'm hoping. We'll have to wait and see, but it'll be a down month for sure for the passive income. But that's okay. That's expected. So yeah, all in all, a good start there. So now to where it really matters, the net worth. How did we do the first month? And this could be one of the most important months of the year for me. And thankfully, we're off to a great start. Up 2.94%. We went from $204,276 at the end of 2025 to $210,293 here at the end of January. That is an increase of, what is that, $6,017. Really, everything went really well for me. I kept my expenses low and my income was higher than expected. So it all worked out, and I was able to contribute quite a bit to my Roth IRA, which I'll get to a little later. But it was a great month, and I really needed a good start. This month I got 3 paychecks instead of the usual 2 that happens like twice a year. So really need to capitalize on that, and I was really able to up $6,000 in a month. That's very good, but let's gotta get used to these smaller numbers here. This the 2%. I think most of these months are going to be 1, maybe 2% months. This will probably be the biggest percentage we'll see this year, 2.94%. I remember some of these other months, maybe like 2 years ago in 2024, a 3% month would be like close to $4,000. So this probably would have been like at least a 4, probably closer to 5% month, a year or 2 back. But now $6,000 is only not even a 3% month. So that's kind of crazy. So just got to get used to that, but that's just the nature of how that works. When you make more money, the percentage will go down. So not so much the percentage we need to worry about, but the pure numbers. So looking at our overall chart, up 25% from last January. So that's still good. And we are officially on another big run here. Like we had back in 2024 and January of 2025 before things got kind of rocky there for a bit. But we are officially at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight positive months, which is very good. And our record of from 2024 to January through January of 2025 was 9 months. So we are about to reach our record here. We're about to tie our record if we get a good February. It's been an incredible last 8 months, and really made up for that poor kind of start to mid section of 2025. So off to a great start this year, and looking to keep it up as much as I can. The income's probably going to be down. Expenses are probably going to be a little higher this year, but I just got to manage it as best I can. When it comes to my expenses, I always try and have a goal of under $2,000 per month, and almost every time I'm able to beat it. I think last year I went over it 2 times, and once was I think in like March or April maybe, I don't remember, but it was just barely over, and it was just because I had a big expense buying new car tires and some other stuff. And then I think in October I did as well last year. That's because I think I got another set of vehicle tires, and I paid car insurance, and I think we did some Christmas shopping too. So every other month though, I do pretty good. I think I made little statistic of what my average is. I think last what was it in the last December recap video. I think my average was close to $1,600 or $700 spent per month in 2024, and it was closer to like between 1,300 and 1,400 in 2025. I could be wrong, but I think that's what those numbers were. So this month was expense wise, it was where I expected it to be. It was in the middle of 2024 and 2025. 2024, I spent like a bunch. I spent like $2,400. January 2025, I spent not even $1,000, which is my best month ever. This one was very good, but it was in the middle of those. I spent like 1,000, not even 1,200. It was like 1,100 something. So that was very good. Very happy about that. And just gonna try and really keep my expenses low. And if my income is ever higher than I project it, then that's extra money. So off to a great start here. The future outlook, we're looking at a potentially good February here, and I'll get to that in a second. My Roth IRA, I was trying to max that out, and I'm trying to do it aggressively this year. So I can put $7,500 in for the year, and I have this month in January, I put $1,730 in, which is 23% of the way there. So that's almost a quarter of the way there. So very happy about that. And if things go right in February, we could put another big chunk of money in there like that. So February, how's February looking? When it comes to expenses, I don't have much of anything for planned expenses. I've already had one or two little tiny expenses kind of pop up here. So it's basically just going to be little things like that, which hopefully shouldn't affect me too much. But it's really just hoping that my vehicles hold up and I don't have any major repairs. If that is the case, I could have another really good month expense-wise, but we'll have to see. My income is looking to be pretty solid, and then on top of my regular income, I could have some good stuff coming my way, because everything could kind of hit here in February. Basically, towards the end of February, I'll be getting some back pay from my job, which could be several $100s. I don't really know exactly. I'm thinking maybe $500 or $600. So we'll have to see how that goes. Oh, the one big expense, I think I'm gonna have an eye doctor appointment and get some new glasses maybe, but I don't know how much that'll cost. But anyways, I'll get that back pay money, so that'll be nice. And then I will be doing my taxes as well. That'll be I always have to pay a little bit to do my taxes, but last year I had to pay money like $100 when it came to my taxes because of so much of my passive income that I made over the year. But this year there is a chance, I'd say a pretty good chance, I actually get an actual tax return. I get money back this time, just because the new no tax on overtime sort of rule thing they just made this year or whenever. So that's like an extra like $4,000 I think I get to deduct off my taxes. So that would, in theory, it should save me like $700-800 in like taxes basically. So that would definitely get me a tax return, and that could give me more money to either just take as profit or put into my Roth IRA. And then I'm hoping, I still do have some old sort of not vacation exactly, but some days from work that I still have to get paid out for, and that could be close to like $1,400 or $500 maybe. So that would get me some more profit and then help me put more into the Roth IRA. So in theory, if all that happens, if I at least get a return or break even on my taxes, I get enough on my back pay money to at least cover my eye appointment stuff and all that, and then maybe a little more. and then I just have a solid month all around, and I get those other days paid out, I could be looking at potentially at least $3,000. I'm really thinking, honestly, maybe I could hit $4,000 profit in a month, in the month of January, and make another big contribution to my Roth IRA, probably around this number, maybe a little less, maybe like 1,600 or something. And that would really get me close to almost halfway, 2 months into the year. So that would be really good. But yeah, so it was a great month of January. February has a chance to be really good as well. And so, but we just got to make it happen. Can't speak too soon. And so we'll just hope everything works out. But I'd say, unfortunately, we're probably due for a negative month sometime here soon. Hope it doesn't happen. But the longest we've ever had is 9 months before getting a negative month, and we are up to 8 now. So hopefully we can tie that mark and get 9 positive months here again. And right now everything's lining up to look like that's going to happen, but we'll just have to wait and see. But great January, potentially a really good February. It's been looking like a great start to 2026, but it's a long year, so we just got to take it one month at a time, and we will see you in the February recap, I guess. So that's all I got. Thank you for watching, and